So yeah, time to upload. Or maybe not, maybe this is a bad idea. I don't know. So the non-spoiler section isn't going to be long, besides the one thing that I want to talk about, which is sort of non-spoiler, but I will want to talk about it, is sort of the digital stuff that they show. It is really interesting. And some of the stuff that they talk about, which one of them, there's so much stuff to talk about, but one of them, with the showing the holograms and this and that, and also, yeah. Jeez Louise Marines. I hate this. But yeah, with all that being said, with all that being done, it is really good, and the only non-spoiler thing is the animation looks good, and every sort of digital effect looks absolutely amazing. But I want to talk about, more importantly, you might be thinking, with 1 minute left, this is going to be short. No, this is going to be long. This is going to be long, because I want to talk about it first. Because I've heard about this guy before. I think I've definitely heard. But the drop of Phineas Cage, I was like, wait, because a lot of psychological stuff, I don't get. But Phineas Cage was in a Game Theory episode. I'm like, I know this fact, I know this one. It's it's really interesting to think about. And really interesting to know. And I want to ask more people, do they know them a bit? One person who I know knows them, because they're sort of a physical therapist. But they didn't know it was Phineas Cage specifically, which is really interesting. And I like that idea, because it's all about that. It's all about, see, if you know Phineas Cage, this is non-spoilers for this is just history. Phineas Cage had a sort of metal, I don't know if it was a railroad track or a metal road, through his head, sort of below his eye, through his head. And he survived it. It is a known part of the fact, and it's one of the most interesting survival things because that sort of, nowadays, you've heard stories about stuff like that before, that's become common knowledge. But back then, they didn't know that. It sort of showed how the mind copes, and sort of led to these huge discoveries. If you want to know more about that, ask someone who knows. I just know the stories and know I know roughly about it, not fully in detail. Again, if you want more thorough exploration, YouTube probably has something about it. I don't know. Let me just see. Let's see what comes up if I just search Phineas Cage. Shut up, and you work. But besides that, and all of that being said, there's Phineas Cage. Dr. Oman Danu has a video. UCELA has a video. Today I Found Out has a video. Yeah, there's a lot of people who actually know a bit more about it. But yeah, it is a well-documented case about it. To the point that I know about it. Because film theory, but that's besides the point. I also the other thing I like, because I like the whole show. The whole show is really good and dynamics. But they do two things. One, and I really want to know, is if you replicate something beat for beat of someone's life, would it be possible to recreate the individual? I would say, even if you do everything beat for beat for beat, you're not going to get a person. This is not a resurrection method. You're just making a copy. At the very least. That's at best. At worst, you're just creating someone with similar outcomes. No one's a carbon copy of anyone else. And the moment he figured out about this sort of stuff, he wasn't able to do anything about it. It's so interesting and so hilarious about this all. And I just like it so much. In general, it's fun, it's interesting. And when you learn, because when you learn, the parents of all, that's effed up. When you learn his sort of like one and only friend was involved. He's like, what the? It's like, are you kidding me? Because like, for her it makes sense because like but like for when you first hear it from her perspective, yeah, it makes sense. Your parents have like cancer and you need them like legitimately valid. But when you first hear about it, it's like, who else is it real? Am I in the Truman Show? I didn't know this became the Truman Show. What is happening? But the other thing, that's one of the things I like as an idea of like thinking about. Because that idea of trying to recreate another person is really horrible, but really interesting. But the other one I like is the whole thing of like, are these people real? And I know this is season 2, because season 2's already out, and they do a whole thing with it. And they did a little sneak peek of like, oh, by the way, we have a backup copy, which might not be activated, so we might not have the memories from the last season. But there's questions, what is real? Are these people real that sacrifice themselves? Or are the new versions real? What are the real individuals? It is so insane. And it's so interesting what's going to happen in season 2. Because that's what I want to know. Is there going to be something else? I am actually interested. And this is so interesting. Like, this technology of like uploading someone's mind is public knowledge. And it's so interesting. But this idea of like, are these people real? Because AI, in a way, is not real. Is not like a human being. You can have the TV series and you have the debate of, is it real in that way? I'm not debating if AI is good or bad. I'm asking, it doesn't believe, think, or feel. AI sort of doesn't. But if the technology exists, and I'm not, maybe AI, maybe can artificially do it, that's not the point. Because that's an interesting question in its own right. But if I copy my mind, either this style or any of the other fantasy styles, because there's a couple of things I think talked about, like either copying, I think that's a Black Mirror episode, which did a similar idea. It was like Star Trek-y, if you know, you know. It's one of my favorite episodes. It's one of my favorite episodes. I absolutely love it. But I like the idea of this person, sort of the idea of, if you copy a mind, are they the person? And also I know people are going to comment saying Black Mirror episode do for DNA and that's physically impossible. Yeah, I know. Don't care. It's fun. Anyway, this is dark. The idea of like scanning your brain in the way is so messed up. But with this, the one thing I like is through it all, it's always saying, am I real? Is this real? Who am I? What am I? It is so insane questioning it. And when you first find out through emojis with the emojis of the dance, it's really interesting. And it becomes so horrifying. Because what was once a fun idea just becomes more and more dark. This idea, and definitely when they're starting to degrade, I always like, because is this what we want? This is just, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, a lot of people like these shows, the villains are like, oh yeah, this is how you beat death. No! Death is natural, memento mori. Death happens for a reason. Please no. If anyone was like, by the way, can you rescan Henry Drake? No! I'll pass. Can I pass? Can I skip on this procedure? I would like to die normally. I'm not a fan of dying normally, but can I die normally when this is so dark? I love this series though. It's really good and really entertaining. I talked about it for almost 10 minutes now. It will be 10 minutes, but I've talked about it for almost 10 minutes, so I think I proved that. This is so good, so entertaining, and 100% worth to watch. So yeah, Pantheon, watch it. It's really good and really amazing and really awesome. It's entertaining. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked and subscribed and comment. And good night for a while.